Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for this season's Hula Bowl. This interview is sponsored by Publix. Publix Super Markets are the premier quality food retailer. Stop by today to pick up top of the line produce, baked goods, and groceries. Today I have with me Teddy Gallagher. He's a linebacker out of Coastal Carolina. How's it going, man?
Going good. How are you?
Doing well. Really excited. Our event is coming upon us very shortly. We invited you to come down to Orlando for the Hula Bowl, which is very exciting. So, I want you to just kind of take a second for, people who don't know you, which everybody should, but for people who maybe don't know you, give them like a brief background of you and your history, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm from Pasadena, California. Um, I went to Loyola High School down there in Los Angeles. Wasn't very highly recruited at a high school, and I went to junior college as a result, and I was there for junior college for one semester. Um, at junior college, I went to Glendale College. I was first team All State, first team All Conference, MVP of the conference and the team. Um, Played pretty well there. And then I had some options coming out of junior college. And then I was recruited here at Coastal by Coach Corey Bailey and Coach Nick Jones. They're no longer here, but I developed a really good relationship with them, really good relationship with Coach Moglia, who was the head coach at the time, and Coach Goodman, who was our linebackers coach. And, I came in on my official visit. And, my best friend now, Silas, he was a redshirt freshman when I came on my official visit. And, I clicked with him immediately, clicked with a bunch of guys on the team immediately, and kind of fell in love with this place. And, I'm really glad I came here.
Awesome. And so, obviously, making that trip from West Coast to East Coast,
Yeah.
maybe bringing a little bit of that, West Coast vibe a little bit with you. So, uh, it's been interesting, actually watching you and your teammates. Um, let's just talk about that for a second, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I didn't even know what a Chanticleer was,
Neither did
until like last year. So, like, talk to me about this program, dude. Because like back in, like really like last year, you guys really exploded on the scene. Had a magnificent season. I think last year you only lost like one game, and it was like by like a field goal or something. So
Yeah.
and then of course this season, going out once again and really just being dominant in your conference and beyond. So, uh, talk about this team, dude. Talk about the Shants.
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of guys that going into last season, we felt pretty disrespected and we are all pretty hungry. I mean, we had a really good team in 2019 as well, but we had injuries and stuff like that. And we lost a total of 5 games by combined 24 points. And so we knew after the 2019 season, we were right on the cusp of something special. And it was all about, you know, in between moving from 2018 to 2019, it was all about, effort because, at certain positions, guys weren't given the effort they were supposed to. And in 2019, it was not about effort at all. We were playing as hard as we could. We were playing harder than anyone else we played against. But maybe some of the finer details, because it doesn't matter if you work really hard on the field if you don't have your details. You're gonna be running around full speed doing things. And so, at certain times, we weren't detailed enough to win those close games. And so, moving in from the 2019 and the 2020 season, it's all about finding your edge somewhere and fine tuning those little details. And you saw the results of that in the 2020 season. We 11-0 in the regular season, and then it carried over into this year. We had really good leadership going into this year, and obviously we have really good players on our team, so it worked out well.
Yeah, you figure everything was clicking well, man. Like if anything could go right, it was going right. Coaching staff, everybody was playing their role too. Really just solid team overall there lately, and I have a feeling it's not going to stop. I have a feeling it's going to continue forward. So a lot of teammates still there, still going to be there, for next season. So who do we got to look out for next season?
I think there's a lot of guys. I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, we got really good interior defensive linemen. Gerard Clark and Travis Gallagher. Those are really good guys. And there's a lot of young guys that won't be coming out this next year, but in a few years on defense, especially. Really good safeties, Dre Pinkney and Tobias Fletcher. Obviously, we have really good corners and DeJordan Strong and Lance Boykin and Jacob Prochet and guys like that. And the offensive side of the ball, there's going to be a lot of young guys playing on the offensive side of the ball next year. But obviously, Grayson McCall, I think he's the best quarterback in the nation. And then we also have got running backs coming out like Reese White's a really good running back, and Braden Bennett obviously is a really good running back. But you're going to see a lot of young guys burst on the scene next year because there's a lot of older guys that are leaving. So I think the team's going to be very good next year, but it's going to be a lot of new, a lot of different places.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling you guys are just going to continue riding that wave. So it's going to be a lot of fun in years to come. Again, let's kind of shift back to you. I mean, as an NFL prospect, I mean, do you feel that people are interested? People really want to know what Teddy Gallagher brings to the table. So, want to give you kind of a little bit of insight. This is what one of our scouts had to say about you. So, hear me out on this. So a high motor individual, obviously a guy who plays like with his hair on fire. So that's kind of what you get out of Teddy Gallagher. Also consistent tackling ability, plays with good balance at the point of attack, a high rate of efficiency actually as a tackler, displaying what did I put? Displays good football IQ. Good read and reactability, works downhill quickly to fill gaps, and maintain gap integrity. So, hearing that, and really just kind of you and how you see yourself, how would you describe yourself as a football player?
I feel like a lot of the stuff, the best things I bring to the table, I think are in between the ears. I think I'm probably one of the smartest linebackers in the country. I think that I bring a level of toughness to a team. I've played through a lot of injuries, played through a lot of things, and just a level of toughness. And obviously, like I said, I play with a lot of effort. I think effort's one of the more important things in the football field. You can't do anything if you're not playing hard. And good tackler. I think I'm a good leader. I bring people with me, and I think my biggest thing is probably my football IQ. You can ask any of my coaches that have ever coached me. They say that I'm one of the smartest players they've ever coached, and I think that helps me a lot in certain things. And maybe if I'm not the fastest guy, I can get there faster than someone who runs a 4.4 because I know how to have good footwork, and I know exactly where to go and where to be.
Gotcha. And you kind of patrol the middle there, right? You're the Michael linebacker? Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you're looking maybe perhaps at a guy like at the next level, like are you paying attention to some players that are in the NFL right now, maybe even picking apart their game and making it a part of yours? Like who are you a big fan of at the next level?
Well, before I retired, Luke Kuechly was like my favorite player to watch, and I always watch YouTube videos and they got stuff online where like they do like ISO cams, and you could just watch someone just them the whole game. And I'd watch games of him, and like you could literally see him like teams would line up in a certain formation, and the back would be set a certain way, and he'd just automatically start pointing, and the ball would go where he pointed every time. And so just awesome to see like that guy puts hours and hours in the film room, and that's what I love to do, and it's really cool to watch someone else do it, especially at the NFL level.
Yeah. So again, like you were saying, you're a team captain there, and bring a whole lot of leadership. What about you as a leader, man? Talk to me about you as a team captain and leader of your program, like just kind of all that as a whole.
Yeah. I think I bring a lot of guys with me in the way that like, maybe some guys, like not on our team, but I've experienced it in the past where like guys that are in the captain's role kind of put themselves like ahead of people, and I'll never do something like that. And it's just like, I think I'm very easy to relate to for a lot of the guys, and very easy to talk to. And, anytime they had problems, they'd come to me. And, I just, I'm like, during games and during practices, I think I'm like up here energy wise, and, whatever happens, you got to stay up here. You can't go up and down. If guys mess up or guys make a great play, I'm here with them the whole time. And, it's just, I just think that I'm very easy to relate to. And, a lot of my teammates, I love all my teammates love me. And, I just think I bring a lot of guys along with me. And, if I need to, obviously, like I'll rip into somebody, but, I just like bringing people along with me.
Gotcha. Have you ripped into people often, or maybe just once, like ever?
No, I have before. Most of the time it'll be like off the field stuff. Like, they're not doing stuff right, and so you got to get those guys right.
Sure, I understand. I mean, it's just, sometimes you need a little bit of tough love. And so I completely understand that. And, I obviously think that that is something that you bring to the table, as a leader, a guy that, can approach people in a whole lot of different ways, really help them along, maybe smack around your buddies a little bit, making sure they're on task and doing what they need to do. So completely understand that. Teddy, I want to kind of talk to you just briefly about the daily grind. I mean, obviously, you're trying to better yourself. You're trying to prepare yourself for your opponents on the weekend. So, talk to me real quick, maybe about like how things have progressed in the film room. Since you've gotten there to Coastal, and how that really plays out into games. Maybe if you can give me an example of how you studied something in the film room, and it really played out in a game time situation.
Yeah. When I first got to Coastal, watching film, just like put on a game and watch the game and see what you can see. But I think the most important thing for film watching, at least for me, is to kind of watch it situationally. And, so if let's say you have an idea, you break it down, and you watch the teams, what they do on 3rd and 1 to 3, and then you watch 3rd and 4 to 6, and then you watch, 3rd and 7 to 10, and then 10 plus. And then you can kind of see, because a lot of coaches, in their play calling, they have tendencies in certain areas, like if they get tackled for a 2-yard loss on 1st down, what are they going to do? What are they going to do on 2nd and long? Some teams like to throw screen passes. Some teams like to run the ball again, and it just gives you an advantage in game to game. And it's a team like South Alabama. They had some tendencies in short yardage wherever the back was, and the back was a certain area, and we knew exactly what play was coming, and it was on fourth and goal, and we stopped them. And it just comes down to just finding a certain edge, and because even on defense, a lot of coaches have tendencies, when the bullets get flying, they like to go back to what they love to do and what they know works. And just just finding that small area where it's like 2nd and short, 3rd and short, watching all those clips together and being like, hey, they love to do this when the ball's on this hash when it's 3rd and 2. So you get in the game and the ball's on this hash and it's 3rd and 2, you got a pretty good idea what play they're about to run.
Gotcha. I mean, I definitely I can see a whole lot of things that you're kind of pointing out there. Definitely understand. I mean, obviously, certain situations, certain formations. I mean, just kind of knowing what to expect and really studying up on that and being prepared for it. Also, real quick, I mean, obviously, got to get into the weight room, got to do what you got to do there, put in the work. Just tell me real quick, maybe how you approach the weight room, and how do you use that to better your game, and maybe even your favorite lift.
Yeah. We have a really good strength and conditioning coach, Coach Scott. He makes, I've always kind of loved lifting, but he makes a lot of guys on our team that maybe didn't like lifting. He makes them love lifting. We get after it pretty hard in the weight room at Coastal, and it's always a really good time. And, I always approach the weight room as, just another tool in the tool belt, because like the weight room is really important. It translates right to the field. And, if you slack off in an off season, you're going to see the results. And, um, you know, my favorite lift, um, getting under the bar and squatting is pretty fun. Um, I like that. And, I think you can almost feel like if you have an off season where like your squat numbers go up a bunch, you can kind of feel it translate directly to the field. And you know, I love lifting because, one, it's challenging and it kind of puts you in a me versus me situation. And, you got to rely on yourself and you got to pull yourself out of a hole. And, it translates right to the field, makes you a better football player. So,
Gotcha. So let's just kind of talk maybe about like some of those moments out there. A lot of great highlights from, especially from the past couple seasons. Is there maybe a play or a game that really sticks out in your brain? I mean, obviously, you guys. I guess you really finished your season on a good note. Winning your final game, having over 300 tackles in your career there, which I think is awesome. Is there maybe a moment that sticks out in your career?
like, personally, or like my favorite moment at playing at Coastal.
Well, I mean, maybe your favorite moment, or like your like a highlight, like a one particular play that really just kind of you know is on repeat in your head sometimes.
Um, well, I mean, there's a certain amount of plays. I think I played some of my best football that I ever played this year. When we played Buffalo, when we played App State, I played pretty well in those games. But BYU last year was probably my favorite game that I ever played in. Had a couple tackles for loss in that game that was on third down and stuff that really helped us win the game. And just the ending, and that college game day was there, and no one really thought we were going to win that game. And so that game replays in my head all the time. I love thinking about that game. And honestly, one of my I think a lot of my best memories come from games where people didn't think we were going to win, and we ended up winning those games. Like in 2019, we lost our opener to Eastern Michigan, and we were going to play Kansas, and like we were underdogs, obviously. And I made a tackle on it was 3rd and 2, I think, and I for like a 3-yard loss, and ended up being 4th down, and they had to punt the ball with like 2 minutes left, and we ended up winning the game. And it just plays like that where it just when it translates right from the practice field to the football field to the game field, obviously. And just like something that you rep over and over again to be like, on this play, you need to fit here, or just like a certain blitz that you work over and over again in practice, and just see it come to fruition on the field is awesome. Those are the things that I usually take with me.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of great moments, a lot of great memories there. For Coastal, I mean, really having just a phenomenal career there. And obviously, once again, we decided to extend an invite to you. Really excited to see you down at our event. It's going to be fun. So, for some people maybe that don't know you, maybe outside of the game, let's kind of give them a little bit of insight, if you don't mind. So, tell me something about you that's fun, interesting, or what have you. Uh, give us something.
Um, I don't really play video games. I don't do that stuff. I love fishing. I love hanging out with my teammates. And I've got a lot of siblings. I've got 4 sisters, and then I've got more step siblings, step sisters, and step brother. And I love my family. And I don't really, outside of football, I don't really have too many hobbies. I love working out. I love watching football. I love playing football. My plan, maybe something interesting is my plan. Once I'm done playing football, I want to be a college football coach. I want to be a linebackers coach, defensive coordinator. Um, that's probably, yeah.
No,
I mean, I don't.
no, no, I got it. So it seems as if you've been tugging at that hat for a while. So what's going on with the mullet guys, dude? I mean, is it
Uh,
gone? Is it gone? Oh God, man, I'm so sorry, man. I mean, is your does your buddy still have his like the Silas
yes,
like?
Silas still has his.
Okay, well, I mean, hopefully that wasn't like your the source of your strength there. So,
Yeah,
but in any event, it obviously became a trend, there for your team and really across the nation as we kind of watched you in the Shants really take off. So, trying to think of maybe something else to ask you, just kind of for fun. Uh, you a big movie guy? Like, you have a favorite movie?
um, I've got a couple favorite movies. The Departed. I like The Departed. The Fighter. I like The Fighter. That's a good movie. Yeah. If I'd pick one favorite movie, um, I'd probably just go with the classic. Remember the Titans. It's a,
Sure.
it's a
No, that's
yeah,
that's fair. I think a lot of people really enjoy that one, especially football fans. So,
yeah.
um, you a big Marvel guy? Like, does that have you watched a lot of those movies?
Yeah, I have watched a lot of those movies. I haven't seen Spider-Man yet though. I want to go see it, but
Neither have I. That's probably this weekend.
yeah.
So, no, I was just going to ask you. Just kind of a funny thing is, if you could be anybody within the Marvel universe, maybe somebody that you connect with the most, you think you could pick a person from that universe? So, who do you identify with the most?
Who do I identify with the most? I don't know.
I know it's a hard question. So,
If I could be one of them, I might be Iron Man. That guy's that guy's that guy's got it made. Um,
yeah, I mean, obviously a guy who's got this, you know, bravado around him that a lot of people, just get, of course, and being rich and having all these things. So you're going to get your chance to get that paycheck. You're going to get to NFL someday. So that'll be fun. Maybe not as rich as Tony Stark, but I mean,
yeah,
hey, you have that. You have that certainly within your future. As we wrap up this interview, I want you to take a second. I want you to look at the camera. I want you to address all the scouts out there that are wondering who is this Teddy Gallagher guy, and really just give them your pitch as to maybe why they should draft you, sign you, and bring you into their program. So go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
I'm Teddy Gallagher. I'll do anything you need for me on the team. I'm going to be immediately one of the best leaders on your team, and I'll do anything for your team. You want me to play 3 technique, I'll play 3 technique. I'll play center, I'll play guard. Whatever do you want me to do for your team? I'm going to give you everything I have. I'll make your team better, and that's what I got to say.
No, I appreciate it, and I also appreciate the intensity because, like, I know that you're the kind of player that can bring that intensity, that delivers these solid form tackles, and we can trust you in that regard. I also know that you're a great leader there for your program. Again, on and off the field, doing what you should be doing, obviously. So, and setting that example for your teammates. So, I do feel like you have a lot going for you, as a prospect. I mean, obviously, once again, we did invite you down to the Hula Bowl. You could see Teddy Gallagher and also uh, Silas Kelly. He's going to be down here as well, so you could see those guys at the Hula Bowl on January 15th. You can purchase those tickets on Ticketmaster.com. This interview was sponsored by Publix Super Markets. Thank you once again, Teddy, and wish you best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.